This is pretty stunning. We have obviously entering into hurricane season. We know the monomaniacal fervor the Trump administration has in terms of terrorizing immigrants in this country. And ostensibly, right, the idea is that, like, America first. We don't want to have to spend resources, and none of this is actually borne out by the numbers. We don't want to expend resources on people who shouldn't be in this country. We don't want to deny services to Americans because we have to provide them for immigrants. Americans are not safe because of these immigrants that are in this country. Well, here's a story of the Trump administration literally taking money out of keeping Americans safe and providing services to them in the wake of a hurricane to pay ICE to go around, I guess, and kidnap children. Here is Rachel Maddow with that story.
Dead. We now have evidence that in advance of hurricane season, this summer, as hurricane season was getting ready to start, the Trump administration does appear to have transferred $10 million out of FEMA to instead fund detention facilities for immigrants on the border. Again, the statement that we got from Homeland Security tonight was that this money that was taken out of FEMA by the Trump administration was not out of response and recovery operations. The document that we have obtained appears to indicate that response and recovery, in fact, were among the line items that got robbed in order to instead lock up immigrants.
There you go. And of course, there was all this fat in FEMA as it was anyways, right? Like, where are they taking that money from? Like, oh, yeah, no more trips. We're not going to fund Ryan Zinke's, pleasure cruises or whatever it is.
Yeah, they can't even tax the 1% to fund their own genocidal programs.
I mean, this is stunning, and it belies every argument that they make as to why we need ICE, why we need to terrorize immigrants. They're literally pulling from rescue and emergency services to fund this ICE program.
How much of do you think like this relationship between racism and maybe need for progressive expansion of like the welfare state? Like Sessions was saying, he's talking on Monday at the executive office building. He said, you can't have a generous welfare system and open borders. Is this like setting the groundwork because they know that maybe the clock is ticking on some of these things and they're like, well, we need to make sure the racists or the other people, like we just need to clear as many people out of this before we start spreading out things like universal health care or...
No, I don't think the Republicans are welcoming that. I think it really is.
Oh, no, I don't mean they're welcoming it, but they're like, they know that it might happen anyway. So now they're like... maybe no.
Like they're prepping to add some element of like nationalist social democracy, like they have in the far right parties of Europe, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that is I think that's a talking point. I don't think that they're going to turn around and provide these type of universal services. I just don't think they're going to do it. The cost associated. I mean, that's the other thing is that the reality is that there's not the cost that they represent is just simply not there. I mean, they're going to be paying into the system. If you put people into the system, they're going to be paying into the system. So, no, I think it's more of a talking point, right? Like that's the same notion of we got to keep Americans safe and that they're drawing all these services but not paying into it.
It's possible they think we already have a generous welfare system, too.
Yes.
They definitely do.